What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Miami. We're ready for race number 6 in the SpeedZone eSports series. And tonight, it's going to be a fun one. As you guys see, 4 cars up on the high side as they go through one. They're about to wreck. Sports is in the wall. Concussion. But anyway, we're ready to go racing here at Homestead. Practice is just finishing up now, and these boys are ready to get after it. So, got Alex, my co-broadcaster, in the booth with me this week as well.
Good evening, folks.
We're ready for Homestead, Miami. So, qualifying's going to get underway now, and we're going to have an exciting one. I'm expecting some big things out of a few guys tonight, with Homestead being one of the only tracks that you really can run the wall, especially in these Xfinity cars. I'm expecting big things out of a few guys. So as these guys are coming off the pit road now, see Sam Demian right there. Already as they're rolling off pit road. First guy out on the track, going to be the first one to set sail, is going to be the 71 of Sam Hines. See him come through the corner now. He's going to take the first lap. I have a guy that I am thinking of why is Siri talking to me? As I have a guy that I'm wanting to watch here because I feel like I know his line for qualifying. Kyle Ritchie, he's up on the high side. We're going to go right on board with him and watch him qualify as he puts it right up against that fence. Here he comes. He might go to the bottom. I'm not sure. We'll see what the line is. He's going to go to the bottom here. I do think the fastest line, as he's loose in the corner, so he probably should bail out here, run the top, go for a second lap. But from my experience at Homestead, it is top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. So we'll see if any of those guys take that into consideration. Here comes Nathaniel Landwehr. He's going to run the outside here, coming to his lap. See, does he go to the top? No, he's going to run bottom as well. Randy completes his lap. He puts her P1 on the board. See, Randy up on the high side. He's going to spin her out. The mud guy spins her out on the top. This track is going to be hard to handle. Daniel on his lap to the bottom of the racetrack. Is this one going to be a good one? Is this going to be enough to knock Randy off the pole? Nathaniel, I feel like, has gotten every pole this season. Maybe other than Phoenix, but Nathaniel goes top of the board once again. Gets the pole. Kyle Ritchie had it for about half a second there. You see in the bottom left, 0-1-3 for Nathaniel. Kyle with a 1-9. Jonathan Swartz with an 0-7. That bunches up the gap between first and second a lot there. So good laps all around. Jonathan Wiley's coming to the pits now. So good lap there for Nathaniel. He's going to take the pole, it looks like, unless somebody else able to pull a heater out. See Michael out there now. Michael Davis puts her 5th. Sam Hines, Josh Gosselin, Casey Brown, Landon Quisenberry. All right. Sorry, I had to step away to get some socks because about halfway through this race or the finish, when they get blown off, I can let you know. So Matthew Helms out there. Jared Lindsay puts her P2 on the board. See Caleb here going up for his lap. A few of these guys already on their second lap. Didn't get the first lap in after making the mistake or possibly spinning. These cars are hard to drive when the tire pressures are low and when the tires are cold. So be on the lookout for this first, lap or two. And these guys are all slipping and sliding. Could see a mistake out of these front runners and drop them back through the field. Jonathan Mazzello puts her P4. See Cody Sanderson down the backstretch now. Cody crosses the line. Puts him P25. Maybe didn't get a lap in. 34.3. Looks like a better turn one now. So as these guys are finishing up their laps, we got 1 second left in qualifying. Cody's not going to be able to complete the lap. So Nathaniel gets the pole for race number 6 in Miami. Alex, what are you expecting to see for tonight?
I think we're going to see a lot of ripping the wall tonight. I know you mentioned before we got a few guys in the field that the line is going to be the wall for them because they like to rip it around there. Got a lot of familiar faces up in the top 5, top 10. A lot of these guys we've been seeing week in and week out who've been up towards the front, and yeah, I think we're going to see them up front for most of the night, and so won't be surprised to see some blue paint scratches on the side of some of these cars at the end of the race here.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch, and we're excited for Miami. This is one of my favorite racetracks, one to race and to watch. So tonight, looking for some entertaining things to happen, because we got a few guys that are normally pretty quick, like Casey Brown, Landon Quisenberry, Taylor actually starting pretty far back. Kevin Ritchie, one of his best qualifying results of the season. So he's going to start a little bit further up than what he normally does. So these guys, when they're able to drive through the field, it's going to be fun to watch. So let's go down on pit road with Alexa as he gives the pit road rundown, starting lineup.
All right, so here we are. Like I said, a lot of familiar faces starting in the top 5 today. We got 66 of Nathaniel Ward taking the pole again. I believe this is his second or third pole of the year. Not surprising anymore because he likes to rip some fast qualifying laps. His outside pole, Phoenix winner Jared Lindsay in the 18 car. Down in third, Jonathan Schwartz, another guy who I think we're going to see try to get some revenge today as he hasn't had the most amazing beginning of these races here, but we'll see what he can do. Behind him is another Jonathan Mazzella. Another quick guy we saw run towards the front last week, and see if he can put another top 5 result together today. 76 Kyle Ritchie, one of these guys. I think he's going to be the guy to look out for if you want to see a car on the wall. We're going to see that 76, that blue, white, and yellow car. He's going to be up there a lot. We're going to have Randy Arms sorry, not Randy Arms. Michael Davison 6th in the 5 car. He's got a Kyle Larson scheme on, so let's see if he runs the wall today. Randy Arms back down in 7th. Sam Hines going to take your 8th spot. Matthew Helm 9th. Josh Goslin, a name we haven't seen much, running up top 10 here. Jonathan Wiley up in 11th. Casey Brown 12th. Landon Quisenberry, middle of the pack result at 13th here for qualifying. Kevin Ritchie 14th. Ryan Tiller, another person who I think he's been friendly with that wall the past couple of times he's been here. Ian Humphreys in 16th. Austin Wingard 17th. Mikey Adams 18th. Michael Cochrane 19th, and Sam Demian to round out the top 20.
But we're coming to the green here, so we'll do a little bit rundown a little bit later. So here at Homestead, Miami, race number 6 is green. As the field fires off into turn number 1. Jared Lindsay on the door of Nathaniel. I think we're going to see that a lot tonight. Trying to hold it on the bottom, but the guy on the outside can kind of run that middle, get a little bit of side draft, possibly loosen him up, but it looks like Jared down the back straightaway is going to have a nose into 3. How deep does he drive it in there? He's going to drive it in enough to clear. So Jared to the lead on lap number 1.
Yeah, pretty aggressive start by Lindsay here. I'm not super surprised that we got a spinner in the back. No caution as of now. Let me see if we can find out who that was. It was the 51 of Kevin Ritchie towards the back of the field. Thankfully, no caution out just yet.
Doesn't look like he's got damage, able to keep it underneath him, so not too bad there. This is one of the older surfaces in NASCAR and in iRacing. So this is one of the tracks where the tire wear will come into play. So with these guys, how hard are you going to have to run to, what's kind of your ideal pace? How hard are you going to run at this moment? We see Nathaniel looking to the inside, trying to loosen him up just a little bit, but how aggressive are you going to be? Are you going to run about 60, 70% right now and kind of save a little bit? Or are you going to go 80 and try to get in all the spots right now before we get to a little bit later in the run? Seeing Kyle Ritchie just above Swartz looking to make the move, just hasn't been able to. He's going to look to the inside now as they're all over just behind him. Oh, one to the wall. Sam Hines, Michael Davis around. Everybody shouldn't be able to save it and avoid. But as soon as I went on board, Sam Hines was facing the outside wall. And that brings out caution number 1 of the night. Go back and take a look at her here and see what happened. See Michael Davis up there at the high line, up by the outside wall. Gets into it a little bit, then just slight comes off it. And Sam was just there. Not much that they could do. It should actually be okay for both of these guys. Not too much damage. Everybody else able to avoid. Casey Brown does a good job of holding on to it and avoiding a T-bone and Sam there. But everybody should be pretty good and no damage.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate right there for both the 5 and the 071 there. Just a little bit of net code too. I can see in the here in the booth up here. It's not a great start for that 5 car. Is like I say, he just bounced off the wall just a little bit, but unfortunately took a couple cars out. But damage shouldn't be too bad for the both of them, thankfully.
No, they'll be both on pit road and getting a little bit of damage fixed. But with these Xfinity cars, as long as you don't, go head onto the wall hard or anything like that, they're able to keep them going with these steel bodies. They're able to kind of just bounce off it just a little bit, and that's kind of what we saw from Michael there. Was able to bounce off it, kept it going, as I think we have a few takers on pit road. A few of the front runners, actually, similar to what we had last week. Kyle Ritchie, looks like most of the people running inside the top 5.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna point out it's the pretty much the entire top 5, and then we got the 5 car presumably coming down to try to fix any damage he's got. I think this is just gonna be a top off, and let's see. I'm not sure how many laps we can go on a fuel tank here. All I know is that the stage is going to be lap 50, so I'm sure trying to get it to the end of the stage is gonna be on a lot of these guys' minds here.
Yeah, well, the race off pit road changed a little bit there. We had Nathaniel beat Randy, then Jared off pit road, so a little bit slow pit stop there for Jared. Obviously, these guys didn't take tires, so possibly could have just filled up just a little bit more. But other than that, not too bad. Good strategy call from these guys. I'm not sure the fuel window, so maybe we can throw that down to Bub on pit road, and he can message me and let me know. But yeah, we'll restart here with both Jonathans on the front row, Jonathan Swartz and Jonathan Mazzella on the front row now. So new restart is going to jumble up the whole field. With, like I said, both Jonathans on the front row, Matthew Helm, Landon Quisenberry, Josh Goslin. Haven't seen him much this season. Might be his first race with us as well, but he's looking to make something happen, and he's in P4 right now, so that's cool to see. Newcomer or a guy that's running up front for the first time, so pretty cool there.
All right, I got an update for pit road for you, Cave. I was just made aware that the fuel run these guys can go is about 39, 40 laps if they can stretch out that fuel a little bit, but 39 looks to be the max they can go.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to make it interesting. I don't know when the stage is either. I'm assuming it's probably 50. So, or
yeah.
Is there stages in it? Yeah, 50?
Yes, we got lap 50 stage today.
That was the pre-race talk from everybody in the booth here and with the KO5 broadcasting crew. So, early morning meeting. Anyway, we're going to get a restart here on lap number 7. Coming back to the green. Jonathan front row. As they get in the restart zone, they are Swartz fires. We're back green. Swartz, good restart, able to clear Mozilla on the outside line. Here comes Matthew Helm to the inside. They're going to be side by side for that P2 spot. Quisenberry going to turn left and try to go 3 down the back straightaway. Doesn't have the run for it, though.
Already got a few guys up by the wall right now. Not super surprising, as I think we're going to see a couple of guys try to explore a few lines, but as of now, it looks like that bottom line is the dominating line right now, which is kind of surprising for Homestead.
Yeah, and on these, on the newer tires, not something that I expected to see. I think we expected it to see a little bit later on in the run, but we saw Mozilla get a little loose there, and on that kind of middle to top line, riding that seam, kind of messed up his momentum. Helm ran the top there and won, and actually got a really good run through it. So I think we're going to see better lines, or the top be better in 1 and 2 than it is in 3 and 4, with just how how this track is shaped. But I think as we get closer and closer, or more and more laps on the tires, you'll see them closer and closer to the wall, either both corners or just in general.
Yeah, I think you got a pretty good point there, Cabe. But just looking at the last few laps now, looks like everybody wants to run the bottom of 1 and 2, and there's a few more takers for 3 and 4 running towards the wall. But we'll see if they, as the run goes on, if they want to start migrating up there.
Yeah, we saw Mozilla just drive around Swartz there on the top line. So the top is quicker, but it also puts more load in the tires with it being a little higher line, a little bit faster. It puts more loads into it, but it's also a little loose as Quisenberry gets way sideways, somehow keeps it off of Helm, but that mistake is going to cost him. Loses a little bit of momentum.
And see here, we got a brand new leader, Jonathan Mazzella. He's starting to pull away just a little bit. It's like we saw the same thing last week. He got out front and started to gain a bit of a gap, but he started to drop back a bit after about 15 laps. We'll see if trend continues here, if he just tries to burn off his tires a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, and we'll see that come into play. I think Swartz is one of the best guys, especially in this Xfinity car, how to save tire. So he's starting to just drop back just a little bit. Matthew Helm following one of his better runs of the season so far, right behind Swartz. He's learned a little bit following Swartz, so he could learn as much as he can right now. And I know clean air is going to be a factor or a big deal, but with Homestead being this tonight, I know we talk about, clean air and dirty air a lot, but this is one of the tracks where you can move around, as we see Josh Gosselin go to the high side. Ian Humphreys, he goes to the outside a little loose, but he's going to get to Casey's right rear. Ian Humphreys has the fastest lap of the race with a 3.76. So fastest lap of the moment. And we'll see that as the sun starts to go down, this track rubbers up. It's going to make these cars a little bit tighter, and that will help them eventually with the speed. So Ian Humphreys has the fastest lap at the moment. We'll see what they're able to get down to later.
Yeah, I try to point out, Cabe, we got a couple new guys running up in the top 10 now. I was going to say, Matthew Helm, we haven't seen much up there much. Ian Humphreys, pretty new name in the series. Haven't seen him very much. And Josh Gosselin making a nice move around the outside not too long ago. So maybe we have some new contenders tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to start to see. I think it's not just going to be, especially with Homestead, this is one of the things I like about it. On this fixed setup, the car is hard to drive, but it's easy. It's easy. How do I word this? It's easy to drive, hard to be fast. And I think that's why we're seeing such good racing around here, because it's not tight, it's not loose. It's a little loose on exit, but you got to be careful with the throttle. Burns off the tires. So all in all, this fixed set at Homestead is one of the best combos that you can have here at iRacing.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, Cave. Like you said before, you could drive around here pretty easily, but if you want to go fast, you have to explore each and every line and see what gets you around, how you can save tire anywhere you can, because you realize pretty quick that these tires will burn off real fast if you push just a little bit too hard and you drive it in just a bit too deep. Depends on your line, depends on where you go, but yeah.
Yeah, still back out front. Jonathan Mazzella pulling away pretty far out front, in front of everybody. And it's kind of not what I expected. I think Swartz is really backing everybody up, and I think that's why Casey's starting to go to the top. He's making up a few spots now, going to the middle lane, and just kind of getting that to work. But Zella's driving so far away, he's probably burning up the tires too much, but only lap 50 for the break, so it could work out for him. I don't think he's going to burn off the tires too much, but I think Swartz is backing off, and it's making everybody else back off so much that it is going to save everybody else's tires that much better.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned before, Cave. I think Mazzella just, I don't know if he's pushing too much or if he really is just this quick, but we saw it last week where he got the really big gap towards the beginning of the stage and then slowly started to drop back as we went through the latter ends of the stage. And I don't think the gap's about the same. It's not pushing too much now these last few laps, but who knows? We could see in the next few laps whether or not he did burn his tires off or not, or if he's good at managing it and Schwartz is just backing off.
Yeah, we'll see as it gets later into the run, as Homestead is one of the best tracks for that, the long runs. We see a lot of long runs here, even though the cars are hard to drive. But see the side-by-side battle for P2. They're 3 wide out back for 6th.
Yeah, we're starting to see a couple of groups form, and we got Mazzella, the leader, who is starting to drop back into the jaws of Schwartz this last lap. He gained like 3/10 on him in this last lap. We got him, and then we got a second pack behind him, and another third pack who could just be saving, or these are just the slower end of the group here. But Mazzella is losing a little bit of ground.
Yeah, but we got Tiller up here on the high side. He's able to clear now. Trying to figure out who's going to be the guy to kind of run the fence. Who's going to be the first one to go up there, and we're going to ride on board with him. So if anybody's listening to the broadcast, I think that we're seeing that from Tiller. So let's ride on board with him. Go onto the right front and watch him get close to this outside wall. One of the most satisfying things to watch somebody do in a race car is to watch somebody run the wall here at Homestead. So Tiller able to clear. He's actually making a lot of time, just able to clear Casey Brown there. Not going to have a second think of it. We'll see. Is he going to go back to the top line? He is. He's not going to get it right up. Well, he's going to slide up to it. Getting a little bit closer. And I think we'll see that from a guy that I'm going to keep my eye on, from Kyle Ritchie here. A little bit deeper in the field, but I think we're going to see that from him a lot this race. Austin Wingard, he put her up by the wall, so we'll see how close these guys get to the wall later in this one.
Yeah, I think right now, we're going to have a pretty small group of guys who are wanting to go up to the wall. It hasn't really changed too much as of yet. I've seen a couple guys go up there and try it and see what happens, but I think a lot of the real risk takers are going to wait till later in the race to actually rip that wall. I mean, we got a few guys up there right now, but I think later on we're going to see, like you said before, Kyle Ritchie, one of the guys to look out for tonight. I think he'll wait till later in the race to start ripping that wall.
Yeah, and I think that being said, the chances of getting to the wall early and hurting your chances later and getting damage, the risk versus reward just isn't worth it. I think the guys who have kind of fallen back just a little bit, especially like Kyle and Nathaniel and everybody who pitted, the guys who pitted early, they're not even going to the top. They're not making up a lot of time, though, as we'll go back and look at them. You see Nathaniel here, Randy, Lindsay, I mean, still outside the top 10, which is not what you'd expect. It's a lot harder to pass, it seems like, than what we may have thought, even for these fast guys.
I'm going to say kind of surprising for Homestead, but then again, it could be tire saving. Like I said, we're 23 laps into this race. You know, who knows what happens in the next 100-ish laps. You know, maybe we'll see some guys start to push towards the front and whether or not they were able to save tire. Or this is just a car saving measure for now until we get to the end of the stage because, you know, still got a long way ahead.
You see Austin going to go up to the high line, and we'll see. As these guys start running the outside line, how hard is it going to be for Jared and, almost a little bit of contact, but Jared and Randy and Nathaniel, how hard is it going to be for them to get by everybody, as they're pretty committed to running the bottom, and I think that's what they're going to be good at. We see Kyle later in the race. I think he'll run the top, but as these guys kind of are 2 by 2 in front of them, how hard is it going to be for them to get by?
Yeah, I know you're focusing right now on a guys in the farther group there, but we might have a battle for the lead coming on here. Schwartz has caught Mazzella. He's pretty much on his bumper now, but he's left the rest of the field. So I think at this point, Schwartz is trying to fire up his tires a little bit, and he's gonna see what happens here if he can pass within the next few laps.
See the center speed just a little bit better than Mazzella. A little bit loose, so we see maybe burnt off the tires a little bit in the rear. It's going to hurt his exit. Now Mazzella's going to have to go to the top line. Is he going to have the run on the corner exit? Through 1 and 2. Schwartz is almost clear. Mazzella's going to have the run down the back stretch. Almost a little contact. Schwartz tries to slide up in front of him. So Schwartz to the lead on lap 27, overtakes Mazzella, and he's back up front. So he's been the only person that has driven down Jonathan Mazzella. See Tiller making his move, Helm still up front, Ian up here as well, but nobody else has driven down Mazzella, and it's just Schwartz takes the lead and gonna start pulling away, it seems like.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think maybe Mazzella burned up his tires just a little bit too much, or Schwartz decided to turn the tires on. The gap to the rest of the guys behind is still pretty big. They're not dropping back as far as I thought they would. I'm sure them racing each other is going to help the guys behind just a little bit, but as of now, it looks like a pretty stable gap.
Yeah, we see Jared running the inside line to see the 53 almost gonna come up in front. That was a lot closer than I think what Jared was anticipating. He's gonna drive it to the inside of Helm, drives it in deep. Now Helm's on his door. Jared making aggressive moves, finally got his way back into the top 10, looking for those stage points. Has a lot of room on well, from him to, maybe he took tires, actually. That's something that we can look at. If he took tires, because look at where Nathaniel is still at. Nathaniel and Kyle still outside the top 10. And Randy. So the 4 or 5 guys that pitted, 3 of them outside the top 10 still. 1 driving back through the field and is inside the top 4.
I hate to break it to you, Kay, but I think Lindsay's just found some speed. He didn't actually take tires on that last pit stop. It was a fuel-only stop. He was in and out. I think he just found some speed. It looked like almost all the guys that pit that lap too were fuel-only, except for some of the guys who took damage. But other than that, it was just fuel.
Wow. So a lot of speed from that 18 car driving through the field and is making it work. So interesting to see where that speed comes later in the race. If he's only got it long run, if that car's good short run as well, we will have to see. But Tiller, his caution is going to come out. If we can find it here.
Be honest with you, I was gonna say, let's see where this came from. Oh,
Oh, racing at the back. As the I guess we had no cameras on it. Then just on corner exit, just came up a little bit, and the 67 was there. Nowhere for Michael to go. Donnie Bassett up on the outside line. So you kind of off the wall a little bit more than what you'd expect. Michael doesn't anticipate it. And yeah, there it went.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate wreck for the both of them. A pretty avoidable one in my opinion, but I guess unfortunately that's just racing. An unfortunate another incident for Michael Davis to be involved in. You know, we saw he was involved in that lap 5 wreck earlier, and yeah, just an unfortunate, not a fun night for him tonight.
Yeah, and the Larson scheme obviously has some kind of connection to Homestead. Oh! Some possible retaliate. Oh! What happened there? Maybe trying to get to pit road.
Pit road?
Yeah, I think he was realizing he was going to miss pit road.
Oh, I don't think that was intentional. I looked.
No.
He was a little late, but I don't know if that was the most intentional thing on the planet.
It looked the most intentional thing that probably could have happened is everybody's going to come down pit road now. Seeing how tires are, everybody's going to come down pit road. We're going to take some tires. Swartz on pit road. Nathaniel is boxed. Little slide into it. As
Yeah, we're gonna
Jared
see a
wins the race
lot of
off
guys
pit
on
road.
these. Good stop for Jared Lindsay. He is way out past the field right now.
As there is the race off of pit road. Let's go back and actually take a look.
That was
Jared did
another.
not take tires.
Yeah, another no tire stop for him. Looks like he's just gonna try to push it up to the end of the stage. Maybe save a set of
Swartz,
tires for
Mazzella,
later at
Tiller.
the end of the race.
Yeah, that could be a big call at the end of the race. Right now, though, with this restart, knowing from experience with a ran contender here, one of my best races, well, most unlucky, I guess. Kind of early cautions like this came out. When caution came out, then about 5 laps later, 10 laps later, caution came out. I pitted for fuel, didn't take tires, started kind of up front, and then the race went green. So obviously in this, we're going to have a stage, but with, and it went green all the way till the end, and I felt back pretty much getting lapped. So we'll see how long it takes for Jared to fall through the field as we're 34 laps into this race. He's going to be on 34 lap old tires. So this restart, he's going to have to be careful not to spin him. But everybody's going to have to be smart to get around him. So Swartz may luck into this here. And I think we're seeing Tiller in a better spot than Mazzella here is. I think everybody, at least those first 4 rows behind Jared, I think is going to be in a better spot than what the outside line is. So
Yeah, I think Jared's gonna have to, like you said, he's gonna have to be really careful on this restart here. Hopefully, not spin the tires, and if he does, just pray that the bottom line notices it and goes right around him as quick as they can without the entire bottom line checking out. But we'll see what he manages to do here.
yeah, and we'll see it here from a lap 34 restart to bring back to the green. It's going to be a 15-lap shootout for the stage win. Pace car pulls off, riding on board with Mazzella. Into the restart zone. Jared goes, he fires. Clean restart. No chance of a Larson happening where he goes into one and kind of gets jacked up or in the restart zone. Now here it goes. Where does everybody go? Mazzella's going to try to push him. Gets him a little loose. That hurts Mazzella's straightaway speed. Jared's going to just get out of the way, which is probably the smartest deal that he can. Gets out of the way, and everybody's going to drive by him here. We're going to stay with him as he's going to stay low and slow there on the bottom. Everybody's going to go high, try to get around him. But this is going to jumble up the field even more as everybody on the new tires are trying to make up spot. There goes Nathaniel, the points leader. The 53, that's Ian Humphreys just behind him, kind of gets stuck. Casey sideways. Man, this is jumbling up the field with everybody trying to go around Jared.
Yeah, he's almost like a moving chicane. I hate to say it, but
Kyle's going to miss it.
Nothing you can do.
Yeah, Kyle didn't anticipate him going to the bottom, I guess. Had to check up a little bit, then go up, so that lost a little bit of Kyle's momentum. So Jared now back outside the top 10. No stage points for him anymore. See Kyle Ritchie here. We see the 33. That's Matthew Helm ripping the top side. See Tiller. Tiller's also another guy that likes that outside line. He likes running that outside line. We saw him being one of the first to go up there. And with this short run, we'll see where he goes. He doesn't do it there. Here comes Helm. He's going to go to the top side. See, right around that seam, there's a bump really high. So later in the run, when the car kind of has not the speed to go over it, we'll probably see that line come into play. But here's Tiller just behind. He's still running the bottom line.
You say it looks like
the
Helm.
Oh, contact. Oh. Spins down the racetrack. Casey Brown, Kyle Ritchie into it. Everybody's not really checking up. And everybody other than Kyle looks like made it through. And this was what we were talking about. Risk versus reward. We see Matthew Helm here. Drives to the outside, runs that outside line. Little bit loose on entry, and we see it. Just that right rear kind of hinks out, picks up the throttle, starts to go around, and just nowhere for Casey Brown to go as Helm's trying to catch it into the door. Kyle goes up the track to avoid it, avoids Helm, and then with nowhere to go with Casey Brown, little bit of contact. Doesn't even wrinkle the front end, though, so I think Kyle is good. If we get a closer look at that. Yeah, no damage actually for Kyle. So Kyle, one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, another unfortunate wreck there. Just, I think a bit too much push in there. I know a lot of these guys are gonna try to fight for stage points, but I don't know, man. I think we're gonna see this wall start to bite a few people.
Yeah, and one of the guys that could have helped if Jared takes tires here, he's gonna be pretty set. He wouldn't say guaranteed, but he's gonna have a very good shot at a stage win if this is what his call is to take tires and try to drive back through the field now. We'll see. Comes down pit road. Into the box. Right sides. No.
No, fuel
Right side.
only
Yeah.
again.
I'm interesting call would tend to go into possibly just a call just to, go to the back and not have to worry about anybody driving around him and wrecking and kind of being in a Casey Brown situation to have nowhere to go. But no tires. I'm assuming fuel. Yeah, Jared pits there, gets out of the way, and it's going to be just under 10 laps shootout for the stage win. As ironically, one of the guys that was in that, Kyle Ritchie, that helps him out a ton with that yellow coming out. Him and Randy, further back after the first pit stop, wasn't really able to make up too much time during that run. With that caution coming out, him and Randy are able to kind of come back to the field. And that moves Nathaniel Landwehr into P3. So these boys are going to have to get after it to try to get around him. With Swartz leading, Mazzella second, Landwehr third. It's going to be an interesting restart. We'll see how it shakes out. And who wants it more for the stage.
Yeah, I think like we got about 9 to go to the stage, almost 8 to go, I believe, at the side of the green. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see another caution here. I think we're going to see a lot of aggressive moves here. I'll see how many guys actually care about stage points. But I mean, I think Nathaniel, I think, is going to be the one guy to try to get as many points as he can to hopefully extend his lead just a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, wouldn't be surprised if we see another caution here. Maybe just another aggressive move, but we'll see here coming to the green.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen it. Commented on it last 2 races. Randy Arms, starting P6 here, has the preferred lane, I would say, for a restart. Has a few laps on the tires, so don't have to worry about it being too loose or anything on you here. Just need the front 2 of you to go. But he's in a battle in the points with Nathaniel in that red 66 on the bottom. So keep a lookout on that. Randy needs to beat Nathaniel here for the stage for a few extra points and to keep this battle close in the points. So pace car lights are out. We're going to get back going green. It's going to be an 8-lap shootout for the stage. Jonathan Swartz fires. We're back green for the restart. Good restart for Jonathan. Even better restart for Nathaniel. The bottom lane did not go at all. Tiller either missed a shift or spun him bad or something. He dropped outside the top 10 now. As here comes Nathaniel in that red 66, the points leader, making moves and making a charge here, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, an unfortunate restart for Tiller there. I don't think the tire set in as much as he had liked it to, or drops back a couple of spots, unfortunately. And as like you mentioned, Nathaniel not wasting any time here. I think he's going to try to make a move maybe within the next lap or two. He's right on the bumper of Schwartz already.
As Nathaniel to the outside of Swartz, opened up that door, let him go to the outside lane. This is where we'll see where in a late race restart, these guys are going to have to learn what lane is good. And we'll see Nathaniel to the outside of Swartz. Is he able to clear? No. Swartz not able to get him up. Now, Does Nathaniel go to the wall? I think the higher up you go in turn 1, the better off you are. He's still going to kind of ride in that middle lane. The preferred lane still seems to be on the bottom. Nathaniel a little bit loose, able to come up. Here comes the crossover. Big block down the back straightaway. Mazzella's back in the mix. Here comes Randy. So with these two, Swartz being defensive, Nathaniel making big moves. It's kind of slowed both of them down. Here comes the run from Nathaniel. Big run. Tries to take it low. Swartz forces him low. Slide job. Up the track. Here comes Swartz back underneath him. This is Homestead, Miami. Nathaniel to the lead on lap 45.
Yeah, like I said before, Gabe, I think we're gonna see a lot of guys try to move up to the wall, and here it is. This is what Homestead is. It's riding the wall, making aggressive passes, a lot of slide jobs. Nathaniel pulled it off quite well there as he gets a little loose off the exit of 4. He manages to keep it straight though. Let's see how much, see if he can pull away a little bit, or if Schwartz is gonna give him a run for his money, coming with I believe 4 to go in the stage.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race for Swartz was in that clean air, was able to set that on the last restart. But I think the top 6, maybe if Tiller was 7th, you could say top 7. But I think the top 6 are the 6 fastest in the lobby and in the race so far. So as this track starts to lay more rubber, I think you'll see the handling change. But at the moment, Nathaniel was able to go to the high side pretty early on tire life and put her on the wall in 3 and 4, make that pass happen. So I think, guys, you're going to have to take notes of that. Here comes Kyle Ritchie running the outside on the wall, trying to make something happen, gain a few stage points. I think Mazzella's running it as well. Swartz up on it. Going to get close up on the exit. Trying to build that run. Can he get back to Nathaniel? They're taking tires. I don't think you'll see a strategy where these guys don't take tires after this, as Swartz maybe got in the wall a little bit. He is in it. That's going to hurt him big. Loses momentum. Mazzella's going to clear. Swartz able to get a little bit of run, but that just gave Nathaniel the lead and, well, the stage win, as long as he doesn't make a mistake. Battle for second now. Swartz back up the track, trying to just make sure he gets clear. White flag for the, is it completion or this one? This one might be the white. We'll see how aggressive Mazzella gets off of turn 2, and that might tell us. He's going to come up the track, wash up. Yeah, I think it's probably white flag. Swartz to the inside. Expect a slide job here. Nope, backs out of it. Think smart. Not going to be too aggressive with it, but it looks like Nathaniel Landwehr is going to come off of 4, and he's going to win the stage here at Homestead. Or is it completion? It might be completion. He might be waiting. I think it's completion, so maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I am. So now it's the white flag. Does Swartz have anything for him? What's he got to do here, Alex?
I think he's just going to send it on the inside, maybe try to stick it on the bottom, or maybe he'll try to keep it in second and just try to get as many stage points as he can, as it looks like that's what he's going to try to do here. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Nathaniel coming up the front stretch here.
Yeah, plays it smart. And off of 4, Nathaniel's going to win stage number, well, the only stage in this one. Swartz in second. Jonathan, actually, let's go back and take a look here. Jonathan got it at the line, ran the high line in 3 and 4, got by Randy, so take another point away for Randy on the battle for the championship. Kyle, nice comeback. He's able to come to 5th. Sam in P6. Landon, Tiller, Cody, Michael rounding out the top 10. So good racing. I think if we get a late race restart, this could be one of the greatest races you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think we're going to, like I said, I think aggression's going to be the name of the game here, especially now that the stage is over. Nobody's going to be worrying about these stage points. I think we're going to see, I think the aggression's going to turn up a few levels here coming off to the next restart. I know you mentioned before, unfortunately, Randy losing out the spot to Mazzella. That is a very unfortunate thing for him to happen, to him, because he needs as many points as he can right now. I think he needs every point he can afford, but Unfortunate for him to lose just the extra point there.
Yeah, I think so, and we'll see. I know Randy's pretty good at the short tracks as well. He's got the short tracks figured out, and a few other ones that we got coming up in Martinsville next week. So excited for that one. But as they all come down pit road, you want to a guy that I've been told to interview and just haven't had the chance the last few weeks. Mikey Adams, would you want to interview Mikey here while they're on pit road?
Yeah, I can. Let's bring him in here. Give me one moment as I go run down to his pit box. I'll interview him while he's in the car.
All right.
Mikey, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my man?
What's up?
All right, let's see here. And unfortunately, I don't know where you finished in the stage. Not amazing for you, but how's the car feeling?
It's feeling all right. On fresh tires, it feels real good. I think I just missed my pit talking to you. I'll go around again. But
Sorry about that.
yeah, fresh tires, it feels good. As the tires wear, it feels like it starts sliding up the track more. But other than that, I feel pretty good.
All right, well, do you got a strategy for the end of this race? You gonna try to be a bit more aggressive here? You gonna keep it passive? What are your plans for the rest of the race here now that the stage is over?
Oh, dude, trust me. I'm gonna like floor this thing and go through the field like fresh coffee on a Sunday morning through your grandpa's colon. I'm telling you, I'm about to put it on him.
That's good to hear, my man. We're gonna see you ripping the wall at all, or?
I tried to be a cool kid and rip the wall, and I wound up getting into it with the 45 and got some rear end damage. I tried, but I'm just gonna stick to the bottom and just play it safe.
Now,
All right, my
Mikey, I got a question for you.
What's going on? Fuck, I missed pit again.
You're good. You're good.
Fuck!
Oh no. All right,
My bad.
we're gonna let you go so that you can pit here. I feel bad, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Don't
I've
feel
been
bad,
wanting
dude.
to
It's
interview
just the nerves. It's the
just
nerves.
the nerves of your first time on the broadcast. Well,
Yeah,
we're
it's the
gonna
nerves, my
keep an
bad.
ie out for you because you got a little bit of speed underneath you here, and you'll be
Yeah.
able to make your way through the field a little bit more than obviously what you're probably gonna do starting last here if you have to pit again. So we will we'll be hopefully talking to you here a little bit later, and it was nice finally getting an interview.
All right, buddy.
Mikey there in fun little interview there. I've been told to interview him, just haven't been able to. But actually, he's gonna have to restart in 7th and miss pit road both times. This is gonna be an interesting restart.
Oh, I hate to laugh, but that was a bit more chaotic than I thought it was gonna be. But here we are.
Yeah, I guess when you threw the mic over the wall as he was driving down pit road, he just forgot to look at his sign that was dropping, and drove by it. Then missed it as well. So, I guess we're gonna see him maybe come down pit road. I'm not sure. We'll see him there on the but nope. Thinks better of it. All right. Well, pace car's gonna pull off. We're ready for the final stint here for race number 6 at Homestead. Nathaniel fires. We're back green. Swartz moves down in front of Mazzella. Everybody trying to fight to the bottom lane to try to save a little bit. Kyle's going to be the only one to run the middle lane in the top 7 or 8. Is he going to have a hold? Doesn't look like it. Swartz is going to come up, gives him a little bit of draft. Can he clear into 3? Yes, for a second, but he had a driver in deep. He's going to commit to that middle lane, and I think right around, Swartz a little bit sideways. That's going to hurt Kyle. But I'm going to ride on board with Kyle and kind of explain something for you guys, or well, now Mazzella here. Right around this seam, and I think you'll see it on the bottom, right where Kyle's left sides are, or the right side, sorry, right where those are.
I hate to cut you off, Caleb. We got Sam Demian spinning in the middle of the corner.
I
Man! Ooh!
able to save it. That was incredible.
Yeah, somehow managed to save it there. I mean,
Let's go
I
back.
see why the caution was thrown, but that's maybe a
Oh,
bit of an ill-timed caution for some of these guys.
all right. Little replay here pulled up for you. Sam into turn 1, drives it in really deep, jumps on the brakes to stay off of Kyle Ritchie, realizes it, then is on the apron, then gets sideways again, then comes back up the track into sideways on the banking right in front of Randy. Randy kind of just spins him out to try to get him out of the way, which has honestly probably helped half the field and Sam and everybody else not get damaged. So Randy, that was a good job on him. But Sam able to save it after a great save in turn 1.
I will say, I don't think this caution is gonna be. I don't think Mikey Adams is gonna be super unhappy with this caution coming out. He finally, hopefully, gets to make his pit stop and maybe won't miss his box this time. We'll try not to distract him, but
You want to talk to him again while he's in the box?
now we'll give him a
Give him a
chance to
lap, yeah.
actually make it. Maybe while he's in the pit box,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
congratulate him.
drag him in
Hopefully
while he's
for
in the pit box and ask how the tires felt that run. Here, that's what we'll do.
yeah,
So,
I'll throw him a mic in once
yeah.
he gets into his box.
Yeah.
Hope he doesn't miss it this time.
Okay, he's lined up with pit road and is able to make it. As a lot of cars actually come down pit road here. See Jared
Yeah,
Lindsay
kinda
on
surprised
pit
to see
road.
this many cars
Randy
come down.
Arms, Sam is on pit road. Ian, one of the guys with the fastest lap of the race so far, is in it. Mazzella actually stopped on the front stretch. Don't know what that was about. Maybe he got a wrench stuck under his pedal and had to throw it out.
Great news! Mikey Adams finally makes it to his pit box and takes his tires that he's been so wanting for so long.
All right, let's get a word in with him here. We need to do it. Let's see here. I can't do it for some reason. I'm just gonna drag him. Hold on. Mikey, do you got a copy? Mikey?
Oh yeah, my bad. What's up?
Well, you made it on pit road there. How did the car feel for that little run on the older tires and with a little bit of damage? How did it feel there?
Dude, I was scared shitless, man. What do you mean? At one point I was in the middle, 3 wide coming into the corner, and I was like, oh man, I gotta back out of this or I'm screwed. And thank God the 21 got spun. Thank God.
Well,
That was
what were your tires at? If you can check that real quick for us. After,
Dude, they were at
that little run.
56 on the right front and like 70 something all on the left.
Lord, how hard are you turning the wheel?
Dude, I ain't lifting till I see a checkered flag or Jesus himself. I'm telling you.
Hey, I like it. I like the mentality, and I hope that you're able to be talking to one of them sometime later tonight.
Yeah, hey, by the way, fans, I'm fine. I just got nervous first time in the broadcast booth. I kind of suck at pit anyway. But we're good now. Let's go.
there you
All
go.
right,
Congratulations
word.
on making pit lane finally, my man.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, back into it here as they're coming around 3 and 4 for the restart. It's going to be a Nathaniel Jonathan front row, Kyle Mazzella second. Into the restart zone, the pace card makes the hard left. Looks like he might have whiplash. Nathaniel fires back green.
Another great jump from Nathaniel there.
He's been getting these great restarts, but he's cleared by like 2 car lengths every time. So if nobody is able to challenge him on these restarts, and we get a green-white checker with him in the lead, it might be over quickly. As we see the battle for second, the battle for fourth going on. Kyle Ritchie and Swartz for second. Tiller and Mazzella for fourth. Tiller's going to drive her off in there deep. He's going to clear through the center. Tiller's found some speed this week. I don't know if it's Homestead or the Xfinity car, but for a guy that's running actually a lot better than what I thought would, especially at Homestead, he's digging tonight running P4s. We got a battle for the lead. Top 3 underneath the blanket. We got a battle between Jonathan and Nathaniel. Seen it a little earlier. Got a little teaser for it, but now we're within 60 laps to go, halfway that time. We're going to see these boys get after it.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like Schwartz got nothing. It was look like an easy pass by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. Nathaniel didn't decide to put up too much of a fight. Maybe he's thinking about the end of the race here, but yeah, we got a new leader now.
Yeah, new leader with Nathaniel still lurking. Here's Tiller underneath Kyle. Kyle kind of runs that top line in 1 to try it. We'll see how big of a run he gets. He's going to go to the inside of Nathaniel now. Off into 3, going to clear through the center. So a great move. I think that's kind of what we're going to start seeing as this track rubbers up. I think the bottom lane in 1 and 2, or in 3 and 4 is going to be better, but to set up a pass. I think it's running that outside line in turn 1, bombing her off in there, getting the run down the back straightaway, and diving low into 3.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are starting to get a bit more gripped up now as the sun is starting to set. I think we're going to see a lot more grip come on the track. We see Kyle Ritchie gets a great run off of 2 here. He's got in the quarter panel of Schwartz. See if he can set up a pass going in 3 here. I think he's just going to send it and take it on the inside here. I think we're going to have a new leader if he can clear him off the edge of 3. No, he cannot. Schwartz is, ooh, they're going to stay side by side, and maybe Ritchie gets a run off the, no, he doesn't.
Practice for the finish that time. Swartz got it. Swartz got a little loose as well, kind of washed up. But Kyle's going to throw it in deep. Slide job from Kyle Ritchie. And he's going to clear and take the lead, at least for the moment. And Swartz going to battle back to the inside. Tiller's loose back behind him.
I think Kyle's going to have a good set of corners coming up here, as we know he likes to run the wall, and I think he's going to try to use it to his advantage as much as he can at this point. And we're almost halfway through this race now, or actually we're over halfway through this race now. I think this is where we're going to see him start to use that wall.
I think he used it too much to advantage, got into it just a little bit on the entry, and got into the wall, and that hurt him through the center. So that gave the lead back to Swartz. Tiller's going to be up on the high side trying to make something happen. I don't think it's burning the tires as much as we might think it would have. As, ooh, bump to the back of Nathaniel, able to save it. Tiller's going to be giving him a huge shove down the back straightaway. We're seeing Tiller get these huge runs off the top. Let's just ride on board with him and watch how that, comes into play. Kyle able to turn hard left on the exit. He's actually doing a great job running right behind him in the dirty air. See Tiller up on the high side, making something happen. See Kyle up on the high side. So there, Kyle enters on the wall. We see him kind of lose a little bit on the entry. On an exit, he's going to slide up to it, able to get the big run. Now they're side by side for the lead once again. Tiller able to clear for third.
Another great run by Kyle Ritchie there. Like I said, I think he's starting to figure out that wall a little bit. He gets a little so loose there, but he's going to try to keep it on the outside of Schwartz. Schwartz is going to get the better advantage for him now. As we see Tiller is starting to cash his lead back. Considering how much he's using the wall, I think we're going to see him try to make an outside move here. Maybe try to stick him 3 wide.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't leave this camera or go for a chopper view. That's a lot because there's 5 cars under a blanket, all running different lanes. And with these 5 battling, it's bringing in the whole field. Here comes Jared, another fast guy. Sam Hines as well. Quisenberry, he's driving back up here. So this is getting interesting here. We're not seeing as much tire wear, but I think it's more tire wear, but everybody's having the same tire wear. So everybody's having to just drive it now.
Yeah, it looks like at this point, nobody cares. I know I said that earlier that I think the aggression was going to get turned up a few notches, and I think this is where it's at. Everybody's going to start trying to make as many moves as they can. I mean, the tires are going to fall off at some point. We'll see it maybe within the next 10, 15 laps, but I think everybody's just giving it the full beans now.
And we're seeing Tiller running that outside lane. He's driven up to second. He's liking that high side, not on the wall yet, but I think in the later runnings of this race, if we were 2 laps to go, I think Tiller would throw him on the dash and try to get after it, but Tiller's just driving it in a lot deeper, a little bit looser, so that could hurt him long run, and we're going to see that as the tires fade, but he's through the center, about dead even. Then here comes the run down the backstretch. Where does Tiller go? To the inside. Side by side for the lead on lap 69. Tiller to the lead. What a lap for Tiller to take the lead on lap 69. One of the funniest guys in the garage to talk to and in the league to talk to, takes the lead on lap 69.
Yeah, and Kyle Ritchie behind him is not going to give up just yet. He's going to try to stick it on the inside, and Tiller, once again, he's going to take it on the high line. Not as close to the wall as I think a lot of people would like to take it, but maybe we'll see, like you said, maybe we'll see him try to move up just a bit closer. I think right now it looks like Kyle's actually the best guy. If you want to go on the wall, you got to pick Kyle right now. When he does, he's going to take it right to the wall, borderline scraping it.
Yeah, so Tiller takes the lead, the biggest gap that we've seen this whole run for a leader at the moment. Go back to TV3 and watch these guys get after it. Try to keep the camera wide as Jarrett Lindsay and Nathaniel Landwehr on the right side of your screen are side by side. They're going to make a little contact, maybe just a tiny bit. No harm, no foul.
As we can see here, Tiller keeping the lead, a couple car lengths to Kyle Ritchie. As we can see behind him is Jonathan Schwartz is going to send it on the inside of Kyle Ritchie. He's going to slide right back up. He's going to keep that second place. We'll see if Kyle Ritchie can get a run back off. As you can see, Mazzella's starting to creep up as well. We got a lot of guys, like Cabe said, under a blanket, top 8 right now, all within about a second and a half of each other. Let's see here. We'll ride with Jared Lindsay. As you can see, we see him somewhere towards the back here. He's going to try to stick on the inside. Maybe have a little bit of a look. Maybe a good run here he can get. As we see Schwartz take it up on the outside. He's getting a great run on Tiller. He's going to send it on the inside here. See if he can get a good run off the exit of 2 here. As he's going to keep it on the bottom. He's not going to slide up just yet. And he's almost going to clear him. And he's got him cleared. But Tiller with the crossover. These two guys currently fighting now as a little bit of a gap forming behind. But not anybody's out of it yet. As Kyle Ritchie sends it on the inside, trying to get a good run. Jared Lindsay, back from towards the back of the pack. Not a great strategy at the beginning of the race, but he's up to the top 5 now, fighting with Mazzella. Oh, welcome back, Cabe.
How's it going? Anyway,
oh, not bad.
Schwartz in the lead. Yeah,
a bit of aggressiveness going on here.
I missed a little bit, I guess. I had to tinkle, and now we're back. But Schwartz in the lead, Tiller second, Kyle third, Jared tried to take third away.
Yeah, an aggressive move by Schwartz earlier to take the lead. He sent it on the inside of Tiller and just drove it up the track and somehow cleared him.
Yeah, we're seeing it there. Jared's going to drive it in deep into the corner, try to get to Tiller's back bumper, and that's actually a pretty good move. If you're trying to clear a guy, and as close as they were, and I think that's kind of what helped Jared there, possibly got Tiller's car to drive a little bit different as he got to his back bumper, and that allowed him to open up the door as he cleared Kyle. So I think that's a move that we'll see from more of the experienced guys. Drive it in the corner to clear the guy above you, but drive it in to kind of get to the guy's back bumper in front of you, and it can make him make a mistake. So all in all, good run for Lindsay to drive back to the field, sit in P2.
Yeah, good comeback for him. We saw him, like I said, man, I mentioned right before you got back, not a great strategy for him earlier in the race. He's able to make his way back to P2.
Yeah, down the backstretch now. Side by side for third. Kyle Ritchie. Ryan Tiller. I mean, the top 7 cars are still right next to each other. And I think Jared's got some speed. So we saw it at the end of that last one. He's got some speed. Don't know if he's on a different tire strategy. Jared's always, it seems like, on a different strategy than everybody else. So he could be. But the way that this thing driving, it kind of looks like it, but we saw the speed from him earlier, and it might not be. As Schwartz is going to throw a big block down the backstretch. It's going to force Lindsay to enter kind of on the bottom. I don't think it's actually going to hurt him. That may have helped him more and just messed up Schwartz more. Casey Brown to the inside. He's going to go on the apron and get out of his way. Side by side for the lead. At the line, Jared led it, but he's going to clear into turn number 1. New leader, lap 78. Jared Lindsay to the point.
Yeah, Schwartz not going to let him off that easy. I think he's gonna try to get around him as quick as he can and try not to get dropped by a bunch of other guys. Because like you said, the top 7 are all still pretty close right now. Within a second and a half still. Let's see whether or not he can actually get past him. We see Kyle Ritchie making a move on the inside of Nathaniel here.
Yeah, we see they're 3 wide for second now. Schwartz ripping the outside wall. Nathaniel through the middle. Kyle pinned on the bottom. Here's the big run from Schwartz. It doesn't look like he's actually going to get too big a run on Jared. Not enough to make anything happen, though. He's going to commit back to the outside line. See, everybody not entering on the wall, which is kind of the line here. I can kind of explain 2 different lines that I'm seeing. The outside, how you run the top in iRacing is different than real life. You can't run against the wall, kind of Larson line it in iRacing. It sucks you in too much, and it's kind of got a weird feel. As the lapper is going to mess up Schwartz here on the corner exit. Going to have to turn hard left. Kind of blocks Nathaniel. it looks like they're able to avoid it. But either way, how you have to run the top, and this line that they're running on the bottom actually right now is the other way that I like to get around, and everybody likes to get around Homestead. But the way that you run the top is you kind of wash up to the wall. You can't enter on the wall. You have to wash up to it, and then about through the center, you can slowly pick up the throttle and get back into it. On the bottom, it's right around that seam, as I was talking earlier. And then I think a caution came out. Where the top three are running, if you can kind of straddle that bottom seam, it seems like there's a grip strip, and it's able to save you a little bit of tire more, and there's a little bit more speed. On the bottom where Nathaniel is, underneath that seam, it's a little bit flatter. And where Jared is, kind of straddling it, it's a little bit more banking, so you can kind of, it's a little bit higher up the track, but it's not going to be as loose long run. I think that's what we're seeing from these guys now, later in this run. As the tires start to weld, these guys are going to move around even more. Swartz still committed to that top lane, though.
Yeah, it looks like everything's starting to even out just a little bit. Not a lot of moves being made as of now. I think we're going to see these guys try to settle in just a little bit. We're almost about 22 laps into this run right now. Probably going to end up seeing guys pit in around 10, 15 laps or so, or I believe actually about maybe 19 laps by the time we get to the end of this fuel run.
Yeah, so still a battle for second going on. Swartz, I'm shocked his tires hasn't gone off as much as quick as he was early, and as much as he's been running the top. I'm shocked those tires are still, able to hold off Nathaniel and stick with Jared. So maybe a no as this race starts to cool. The tires start to wear or last a little bit longer. You want to do a rundown on the field?
Oh, absolutely. As we see a lot of things settle down here. Ooh, we're gonna see us. Ooh, we'll say second and third for them too. But at the front, we got Jared Lindsay in the 18 making a great comeback after some poor strategy earlier in the race. Jonathan Schwartz and Nathaniel Landwehr are second and third. We're not even gonna count exactly where they are because these guys are going back and forth. A little bit farther back in the field, about a second back from the leader is Kyle Ritchie, settling in a little bit, creating a bit of a gap from the 5th place man, Jonathan Mazzella, having a great night tonight. Seems to be pretty racy. Sam Hines, involved in an incident earlier, is starting to make his way almost to the top 5 now. He's looking to run pretty well. Also, I think he's starting to settle it down. Ryan Tiller, another one of the quick guys we've seen dominate that wall tonight. Down in 7th after a bit of a poor restart. Let's see if he can make his way back up as he starts to get a little bit loose there. Back in 8th, Sam Demian, not another bad night for him as he was also involved in an incident earlier. Keeping his car pretty clean ever since then. We'll see where he ends up now. Another new name in 9th place of Michael Cochrane. Keeping himself in the top 10. Nice solid run for him tonight. Lenny Quisenberry rounding out the top 10 here as he slides and scrapes the wall a little bit off the exit. Oh God, we got a bit of a IRacing going on here. Never mind. 10th place rounding out the top 10 is Kevin Ritchie. I think we got a guy blinking towards the front of the field. But 10th, 11th, either one of those. Right behind him, Randy Arms. Surprisingly not towards the front, as we know this guy is usually really good with his tires, but maybe he's just playing it a little more safe than he wants to. Maybe after the stop, we'll see him move up towards the field. Another new name, Cody Sanderson, battling with, oh no, he's not. He's battling with a lap car, actually. Down in 12th, Josh Goslin a little bit farther back down to 13th, not having a bad night himself, although he's down just a few spots of where he was before. Oh, and a little update while we're going out here. That's what that was. It was Jared Lindsay in the pits.
Jared and Nathaniel to pit road. We'll come back to the rundown through the field as Nathaniel's on pit road. Just behind them, Mikey Adams. He found his way on pit road under green. Mikey doing a great job here. He's going to beat Nathaniel out to the lead for Mikey Adams.
Oh, man, there he goes. This is it.
Let's start to see when is everybody start coming to pit road. See Mazzella on pit road now. No, nobody else in the front runners coming to pit road yet. Let's go to the 58. We see the top 3. When do these guys come down pit road? Actually, not top 3. Jared was running inside the top 3, but after that pit stop, is it now? After taking those tires, Swartz and Kyle looking to stay long, possibly trying to aim for lap 90 with 30 laps to go. Is Kyle still running the outside line?
I was gonna say I was kind of surprised to actually see some of the guys come down now, but looking again at when everybody stopped, it was not about 20 laps right there. It was almost 30 laps into this run now. So I think we'll see a couple of guys towards the front continue to keep pitting here. I think they're gonna try to keep it within 30 to go to hopefully not have to take as much fuel and just get a little bit more life out of these tires and not have them completely burned up by the time we get to the end of the race here.
Yeah, we're seeing Kyle Ritchie run that outside line, and I wish there was a little bit longer run before these guys pitted. We're seeing Kyle put the right rear on the wall. One of the most satisfying things, and I know I keep mentioning it, but I love when people run the wall. It's awesome to watch, and Kyle's doing it now. But as these guys come down pit road, Kyle and Jonathan, you'll have to keep notes on it. What lap they pit on compared to Nathaniel and Jared. So these guys are staying out a good amount longer. But the way that this race is playing out is similar to how the Cup race on Sunday played out. You know, few pitted a decent amount early and then had to drive back by everybody. Oh, as Kyle gets to the wall, that sucks him into it. And that's what I mean. When you enter on the wall, it's going to kind of grab you. He's able to pull off it, though, and keep the momentum up. Great job kind of saving it and not losing too much. But we'll see. As those guys pitted early, these two are going to stay out late. Now, depending on what lap they pit, that's going to change on how likely they are. As Kyle's just in the wall now, he's losing so much time just getting in the wall, and that's what we see. The mistake, 30 laps to go in the wall, losing a ton of time on Swartz, which also is going to hurt on the pit stop. It's going to hurt now. 0.5 of a second loss there from Kyle.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him pit within the next 1 to 2 laps. Maybe I think it's starting to get to the point where he has to pit. That car is getting sucked into the wall way too much. He's losing too much time. I will say, though, compared to all these guys right now, they're going to be pitting around 6, 7 laps later than the former leaders here. So this could play out well for them at the end of the race with about 7 lap fresher tires than them. So we'll see here if it plays out for them in their favor.
Yeah, but will they have enough time to get back to the field? That's what we're going to have to be on the lookout for. Let's look in the top right. Swartz with a 35.0. We go down to Nathaniel, 33.6. So almost a second and a bit better. Then the leaders at the moment go to the 18. Jared, 33.5. So a second and a half better from these two. Then our leaders at the current moment. Differing strategies and differing spots on the racetrack. Making up a lot of time, actually. So I don't know how much longer these guys are wanting to wait with such a short run at the end. I don't think that they're going to have enough time if they don't pit until right now, unless they're waiting for a yellow.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say, I think we could be getting these guys possibly waiting for a yellow, but I don't know, man. I think at this point, it's going to start getting way too late for a couple of these guys here to not pit yet, because that gap is shrinking a lot quicker than expected.
At the moment, I mean, they'd have to pit now to make it work. I think their bed is kind of set. I don't think that you can pit now and then drive them down. I think their bed is made, and they're going to have to sleep in it and not come to pit road. And I think that's what we're seeing from a few guys. See Sam in 8th. He's driven down Kyle. He's a lap down. Tiller as well in 9th. So even these guys are, 33.3 from Sam. He pitted just now recently. He's even catching Kyle. So they're a 35.1. Swartz, 35.1. I mean, it's not good. As Swartz, we're going to see him come to pit road now. Kyle got held up. He's not able to come. So Swartz to pit road. Got to have a clean one. Let's see. What does Kyle do now? Been running the outside. If he goes to the bottom in 3 and 4, we know what he's going to do.
See, and I'll keep an eye on the 18 of Jared Lindsay here for you, as he's already on the exit of 4. Schwartz still in pit lane getting his tires on.
Yep, to the bottom. He's going to pit now. On the helmet cam. Slows the car
finally
down.
Leaves pit road.
So Kyle, we'll see. Pitting so much early, and then we'll see what the difference on one lap is. From what Kyle pitted to when Swartz pitted, and see the 1 lap difference and the mini lap difference. So Kyle in the box, good stop for him. See Michael just behind Kyle as well. So let's look. Leaving pit road now. Where are the leaders? So Jared in the 18 is already down the backstretch. Yeah, I don't think that strategy was the best call.
That I was gonna just say that's a strategy gone wrong there for both Kyle and Schwartz, as they are both way down the field now. They're gonna only have about not even almost 20 laps to try to get as many spots as they can. Very unfortunate for those two guys right there.
Yeah, I think with 30 to go, there was a chance. They didn't lose too much time pitting on 30 and still would have had enough laps to catch, but they're going to have to pull some inhuman laps to be able to run down your leaders at the moment, Jared and Nathaniel. So we'll see how these guys, make up their time. And we'll keep a lookout on the lap times as well. But Mazzella, fastest lap of the race. He ran a 1 a few laps ago. So even running faster than the leader, but with 6 seconds-ish, 5 seconds back, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. But let's go to leaders. Nathaniel ran an 8.9. Jared, a 9.3. Kyle, blinked out at the moment, a 4.2. Schwartz, just in front, a 3.7. So Schwartz, is there enough time to catch him? What is the gap to the leader at the moment right now, Alex?
It's about 17 seconds. Actually, no, it's dropping down to 16 and a half seconds to the leader. Even if he's running half a second quicker, unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be able to catch him. But hey, I think it's never too late to rule out a caution. It is Homestead. We've seen how the first half of this race, 3/4 of the race went. Wouldn't be surprised if at any point in the next 20 laps we do see a caution come out.
We saw it Saturday in the Xfinity race, late race restart. Guy who we thought was going to win at Larson ended up losing it on the last restart. So anything could happen if a yellow does come out. That last lap by Schwartz with a 4.06. Lindsay, an 0.5. There's a chance, but he's going to have to be perfect. Schwartz is going to have to be absolutely perfect, navigating traffic, getting around everybody, and making time.
I was gonna say, by the looks of it, it looks like Kyle Ritchie's he's going about a second a lap quicker right now. I don't know if he's gonna be able to hold that pace, but if he does, at this pace, he's gonna catch the leaders with like 3 laps to go. But as he gains almost another second on Jared Lindsay, it's gone down 3 seconds in the last 3 laps.
Schwartz a little bit sideways. That's gonna hurt his tire life, which could be a big factor too. His tire life. How much is Jonathan using his tires by the time he gets to them? He's going to have to be perfect navigating the traffic. You see the 53 in the wall. Schwartz going to have to shoot the middle. On board with the 53, trying to make moves, trying to make things happen to the outside of Sam. Hasn't been able to pass these guys, and I think that's what's hurting him big here, is navigating. It's not lap traffic. He's racing them 4 positions, so they're not going to give it to him. But he's not got any time to be like messing with him. He's got to just get by him.
Yeah, it's definitely hurting Schwartz right now. And I just want to give you another update on Kyle Ritchie. I don't know, maybe those 10, 11, almost 12 laps on those tires, they're definitely helping. He's still catching them a second a lap, but we've still got another 16 laps to go. So, I don't know, maybe we get a shot that he'll catch you at the end here. I'll let you know he's about to cross the line now, and we'll see what the gap is. Ooh, only 7/10 that lap. Maybe he's starting to finally feel those tires wear just a little bit, because I guarantee he's ripping the sidewalls off those things right now, but pace seems to be slowing down just a little bit, and I don't think he likes to see it.
Yeah, 6.2 for Schwartz. Kyle ran a 5.2, so a 10th better than Schwartz, but a 10th a lap isn't going to have him catch Schwartz. And with the speeds that the front runner, I think they're able to get to Mazzella. He's entering turn 1 now. Sam is 2 seconds back. Schwartz is 2.5. They're going to get to Mazzella. Is there enough time to get to Nathaniel and Jared, though? As the battle for the lead, I wouldn't say it's shrinking, but it's coming down. 2.8 for Nathaniel, 3-4 for Jared. At the line that time, 3-4. Let's see what it is now. A 5 or a 4-5. Nathaniel, a 3-9. So Nathaniel is catching. When does the move to the high side come into play?
Yeah, and I think if Nathaniel manages to catch Jared and they start to battle, I hate to say it, Kyle's catching again. He was a second quicker the lap before and almost 9/10 quicker the next lap. He's still moving. Those tires still got a lot of life left in them, looks like, and we still got, like I said, another 14 laps to go. That gap's shrinking pretty quick.
Yeah, Kyle gonna have to work around Tiller, make a quick move of it. This could come down to the wire for at least 4 cars. I mean, this could be, if Kyle's that much quicker than Swartz, he ran a 7. Swartz ran
another
8.
second.
There's a 9. This could be big. I don't really know. I don't know if what Kyle is hoping for is Nathaniel to get there, which he is quicker than Jared. Has reeled in 0.2 of a second the last 2-3 laps. 0.4 at the line that time. So Nathaniel is quicker. If these two get racing for 3 to 4 laps, this could help them a ton trying to catch.
Yeah, as you can see here, both are guys who stayed out an extra 10 laps. They are still closing that gap quite a lot. About 6/10 for Schwartz that lap, and about 7/10 for Kyle Ritchie as he made quick work of both Tiller and Sam Hines. He's going to try to round down Sam Demian now. We'll see what the gap is coming across the line again as they're both nearing. It's going to go from 8 seconds to about, we'll see here as he comes across the line, 7 seconds, 7.7. You get another 3/10 as Kyle Ritchie gains about 6/10 that lap, or 7/10 that lap, excuse me. So he's still catching. He's got a good shot if these leaders can get to racing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you're kind of, it's the best way to describe it is kind of like the air bubble with the next gens, or what it may be with the like on super speedways in the Xfinity car. It's obviously not on their back bumper. If you're kind of running alone, there's no way to get to the back bumper and lock on in the next gens. So it's less than 1/10 of a second, but for the Xfinity cars, there's kind of that bubble of clean air to draft to dirty air that it kind of comes into play. And we'll see, when does Nathaniel go to the top? I think he's going to have to run a different line than Jared every lap, every corner, to be able to catch him and get there. But within about 0.3 of a second, 3 or 4/10 of a second, that bubble of air just makes it so hard to pass. And I think if he's able to break that and get within 2 seconds, it becomes more draft. He's able to manipulate the back end of Jared's car. But I think we've seen it all race. Even at the start of the run, Nathaniel was good on the top side. When does he show his card and show he's going to go to the top side? There, Jared's just got to keep it dirty air right in front. That's all he's got to do, is just make sure Nathaniel's in dirty air. It puts less downforce on Nathaniel's car, which makes it push, which makes it wear more tire. If he's able to do that for at least 2 or 3, I think he's able to be in a pretty good spot. But Nathaniel's going to have to charge hard to get there. Lapper, opportunity here for Nathaniel.
Man, we'll see what we can do here. The gap staying about that 3/10 mark. I just don't think he's getting the runs he wants right now, and you can see Lindsay using good work of his aero there. He's just keeping him behind him, giving him the dirty air, and it seems to be paying off pretty well for him.
Yeah, it seemed like lap car kind of hurt both of them there. When does Nathaniel go to the top? He's got to go eventually, right? He can't just stay on the bottom. Following him, it's clearly not worked so far. Why is it going to work? You know, keep doing it. As Jared gets on the wall, the pressure, he's now broke 2/10. That's big for the aero. And could also hurt Jared a little bit of damage. Jared Lindsay got in the wall in the back straightaway. That allowed Nathaniel to pull. 6 laps to go here at the start-finish line. 6 to go. Nathaniel, the points leader. Jared, battling for the most wins on the season. Jared won Phoenix 2 weeks ago. Nathaniel Won last week at Las Vegas. These two, there Nathaniel goes to the outside. He finally commits to it. How big of a run does he get? Riding on board with him. We'll see what the pull is. 0.4 of a second on the corner exit. What is it at the entry of turn? Oh, it's actually not as big as what I thought. Only 3. Fell back. He's going to drive it deep. He's not good at running the top. He hasn't run it. You got to get in a rhythm. And he's 0.6 back now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Cabe. I know he hasn't run. He hasn't run much up on that top lane, and it's been about 30 laps now since they've pit. So at this point, you got to think that the tires are starting to fade away on him, and it might just be too late for him to be running the top here.
Yeah, with the lappers in front of him, it's not been helping him. 8. Here we go. Hold on. A 9.7 for Nathaniel. There was an 8.1. So finally, Jared was able to pull a 10th or 2. But it takes a rhythm to run that top lane. It's hard just to all of a sudden go to it and commit. It takes at least 2 or 3 laps to kind of build up that confidence in it, how hard you can drive it in there. And I think that's what we saw kind of hurt him. And that's why, while there was clean air, while the tires still had a little bit more grip than what they do now, that's why I'm shocked he didn't go 10 laps ago to just try it for a few and kind of see where he could kind of get it to just trying to test it. Not even to try to pass. Obviously, if he got the run, he probably would have taken it, but I don't think he's got the speed now. I think him getting into it, he lost it. He's back in the bubble, and he's not able to get there now.
Yeah, man, I think it's just a little bit too late, unfortunately, for Nathaniel. Those tires are pretty much gone now, and like you said, I think he should have tried it a little bit earlier. As you point to Kyle Richard making his way up to 3rd here. I mean, unfortunately, don't think he's going to be able to catch the leaders. He's got a 6-second gap here, but he can still fight for this interview spot here with Schwartz.
He's not clear. He had an opportunity to come up, thought better of it. Schwartz with a run. Could have pushed Kyle into one faster than he wanted to go, as Ian's struggling just behind them. One of the guys that had the fastest lap of the race earlier in it. He's getting the wall and struggling now. But Kyle to P3, Schwartz to P4. So a lap difference between these two has made the difference with less than 3 laps to go.
Yeah, great tire saving by Kyle Ritchie here. I saw him working his way through the field. He was making passes left, right, and center. He was not letting anybody stop him, and I think his tire wear is definitely paying off now. And we saw that even a lap difference just makes all the difference here at Homestead.
Yeah, these two pitted on the same lap, and Nathaniel was just too far back to make the tires worth coming through the field. He's still trying that top line, hoping Jared makes a mistake. 0.9 of a second. But Jared coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go for Jared Lindsay here at Homestead. Off strategy early. Was on older tires. Missed out on stage points. Or actually, I think he did get stage points after that late caution in the stage. Or no, he didn't. He just rode out back, didn't he? Got the new tires. Has an extra set way in the pits he probably could put on for the burnout. But Jared Lindsay into 3. Perfect to hold off one of the best in the league. Leader in the points. He holds them off. Jared Lindsay wins race number 6 at Homestead. Nathaniel 2nd. Kyle 3rd. Schwartz 4th. Sam coming home 5th. Able to get Jonathan there at the end for 6th. Sam Hines 7th. Tiller 8th. Randy 9th. Not the night that Randy wanted or needed for the points, being P2 in the points, which honestly could be overtaken by Jonathan or Jared, I think. Or Mazzella. I'm not sure. But not the night that Randy needed to have happen. Looking for that points battle.
Yeah, a lot of great comebacks here for a lot of these guys. Sam coming from 20th all the way up to 5th. Great run for him. Tiller making his way from 15th to 8th. I know we saw he was running up front a lot earlier, but I think he should be happy with an 8th at this point. Couple guys behind. Oh, Michael Crocaine, I believe new guy to the series. It rounds out P11. Not a bad way to start the season for him.
Yeah, great race overall for a lot of guys, actually. and a few they're just unfortunate circumstances for them, and not what they needed for the point situation. But Jared's gonna burn her down. And who you want to interview? You want to go third to first or first to third?
Let's do third to first today. I see we got Jared celebrating right now, so we'll let him have his moment. I'll drag our third place finisher into here. Kyle, you got a copy, my man?
Yes, hello, hi.
Nice job bringing it home P3 there. Very interesting strategy call at the end for you there. What was the thought process there? I know you pitted around 10, 11 laps later than the leaders. Kind of worked out for you. What are your thoughts on it?
The thought process was that they were going to beat me regardless, so we had to change the strategy to try to beat them. And it didn't quite work, but we still finished third.
I was gonna say, great points day for you. Came from fifth to third, about where you started. Great day for you at the end there. Other than that interesting strategy call at the end, how'd you think the rest of your race went?
Um, it was an interesting race because the way the cautions fell in the first stage, we never really had a long run. And when we finally did get a long run going, I could finally get the wall to work. That's when I felt the fastest, and then yeah, it was a fun race. Once we got racing, we just needed
Yeah.
I needed long runs to be fast, and I didn't really have that in the first half of the race.
I was gonna say, yeah, unfortunately, a very caution plate first stage there, and then finally got to the end there with I think one caution, maybe none at the end there. But we saw you running the wall a lot. Was that your preferred line, or was it not working as well today, or was it just like the perfect line to be at today?
Um, you had to wait about 15-20 before you could go up there, because if you went up there right away, you'd kill the right front and then it wouldn't turn. So you had to wait until you started to slow down to get up there to get it to work right. So it's kind of hard to run it the whole night. So you had to strategize around that. But yeah, that was, if it would work, it would be my preferred line for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say we mentioned it a few times that you were the guy to look out for tonight because we know you like to run the wall. That's like your baby up there. This is your track. But other than that, great job finishing P3 tonight, and like I said, good points day for you. And we'll see you next week at Martinsville, I believe.
Yes, Martinsville next week. Looking forward to it.
All right. Before we let you go, get your shout outs in, my man.
Shout out you guys for broadcasting it, and shout out to Randy and Ryan for putting this league on.
All right. Well, there's our P3 finisher, Kyle Ritchie.
Thank you guys.
Kyle Ritchie puts her in P3. A nice little comeback. Hurd kind of down on confidence. It seemed like knew he wasn't going to beat the top two, so decided to pit, cover off everybody else, and it worked out for him. So able to make that happen. Let's talk to Nathaniel now.
Nathaniel, you got a copy, my man.
Yeah, I got you.
Welcome to the booth, my man. Unfortunately, you just fell just a bit short today to Jared. Tell me about your race, man. How'd you feel going here throughout the first stage? I know we had a lot of cautions, but mostly throughout that second stage here, how'd you feel?
Yeah, that second stage felt really good. Jared had like a lap fresher tires, so on that first the first run, I knew he had a little bit of an edge. We made a mistake. I almost ran into him on pit road, or when he went to go pit, and I just blew it. I thought I was going to catch him, but he was aero blocking real well there at the end. Really good run, just didn't quite have it for him.
I was gonna say, Cabe and I were talking about it earlier. We saw you start to move up to the wall towards like last 5 laps. Any reason why you decided to go up that late, or was it just you wanted to see if you can catch him on the bottom? Or tell me about that.
Yeah, he was hitting the aero block really hard in the lane I was trying to run, and so I just needed to get out of that air and try something because I wasn't gonna have it for him. Didn't pan out, but hey, we'll take the P2.
Yeah, I was gonna say a good points day for you. I know you and Jared went back and forth a lot towards the end of that race, but I do believe you will extend your points lead just a little bit. I don't think anybody's gonna overtake you because you got a pretty good gap there. Any other thoughts about the race? I know Homestead could usually be a tricky race, and especially now going in from bright sun all the way to the dark and to probably some cooler conditions, I'd assume. So, any other thoughts on the race?
Yeah, the track I thought it changed quite a bit throughout the race. You had to be kind of a lot more easy, in my opinion, on the first run. But as the track cooled down, lights came on, sun went down. I felt like I had a lot more drive off because the track went down.
Yeah, it's another thing that Cabe and I noticed throughout the entire race that we saw a lot of guys exploring the top, the middle, the bottom. Everybody was all over the place. It wasn't really a set line there. So did you have a preferred line at all tonight, or was it kind of just all over the place?
Preferred line in 1 and 2, probably that second groove is probably rolling the best for me. That bottom groove is better, probably a little bit better for saving tires. But if you need to get up and go, that second groove's got some speed. And then just kind of a late arc into 3 and 4. I don't really. That's not my best turn, but that's about how I try to take it.
Oh, well, like I said before, sounds like you could go anywhere on this track, really. I know, like I said, Homestead's tricky. Yeah, P2 for you tonight, my man. Get shout outs in and go ahead, my man.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to you guys for putting this on. It just really adds a new level of experience, and I could go back and everyone could go back and watch all the moments throughout the race that they missed in car. Appreciate the admin team and all the guys putting it on. It's a good group of guys. All these drivers, it's a fun time, and I'd like to shout out my wife who's sitting behind me typing something. So, yep.
Well, congratulations on a P2 finish, my man. We'll see you next week in Martinsville.
Yep, we'll see it.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
That was Nathaniel coming on P2, gonna keep his points lead, and yeah, good points day for him. Even though it didn't come away with a win, big day for him. As let's see, Jared Lindsay is in his race chat. If you want to drag him in here now,
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you want me to do this, or you want to take the winner here?
you do it. You're good.
All
You're
right.
good at interviews.
Jared Lindsay, welcome to the broadcast booth, my man. You got a copy?
Hey,
Hey, my man. Taking it home P1 tonight. What a. Give me your thoughts on the race. Up here in the booth, looks like you guys were all over the place, and looks like it was a lot of fun to race tonight. But what was your perspective tonight?
well, it's just the same mindset as the last couple. I really didn't think I was gonna be able to run, but I found some time, and tonight was interesting. I got about 4 laps of practice because I got off work late, and then somehow managed to get outside front row and led some laps. And then we went from the very front to the very back, to the middle, to the front, all the way to the back again, to the middle, to the back. I think I went through the field probably 2 whole times, but half the field like 5 times because I kept pitting. I stayed out that lap like 34 caution and thought I was gonna maybe be able to utilize an extra set of tires. Didn't work out that way, obviously. I got run into twice, but it was all repairable, thankfully. It was very exciting. I think I probably made a lot of people upset because I kept throwing it 3 wide right on the line, but I knew I could hold it. I knew I could pass there. I'm really strong on the bottom here. So it was a ton of fun. Nate made me sweat the last 15 laps. I will 100% admit that I said, man, he's definitely going to get to me, but how close, and if he gets here, can he pass me? I was definitely trying to just mind my P's and Q's, deal with the lap cars as they came, which they weren't making it easy with the spots that I was catching them. It was exciting. I'm glad to win. I love Homestead. And I'm like one of the anti-wall runners here. Like, I don't believe in running the wall here.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was out of all the guys tonight, it looked like you were on the bottom the most, even the middle-ish. I honestly can't even recall seeing you at the wall at all tonight. But just want to go back a little bit. The stage 1, what happened to pitting, man? We saw Cabe and I noticed you took basically no tires. Like, what was the thought process back there? You thought you could just keep it, or was it just like let's just see what happens and hope for the best?
Well, I was definitely, I knew I wasn't gonna hold it. I figured I was gonna drift midfield before like the fade on the new tires set in. And my goal was I figured we had like, two cautions before the stage break. I said, okay, well, if we just have 2 more after the stage break, it'll give me a set of tires and make running really comfortable. I didn't think I was ever going to get stage points at any point. I just figured I was going to hug the bottom and let everyone do what they were going to do. But yeah, just a curveball that I wouldn't normally condone that kind of behavior out of the 18 crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one thing that we both just noticed, kept keeping an eye on it. I was like, what is he gonna take tires? Is he gonna stay out and just hope for the best? But at the end of the day, works out pretty well for you, man. You're able to outduel Nate again, close the gap just a little bit to him. I know he's got a pretty good gap in the points right now, but yeah, those are the thoughts of our winner right there, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Lindsay taking his, I believe, your second win of the season. Or you won Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and now Homestead, like you said, one of your favorite tracks that you could run. And yeah, congratulations on the win, my man. Go ahead and get some shout outs in.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Definitely want to shout out all my teammates. So Nate, John, and Schwartz, Randy, and Ryan for all their consistent admin work. My girlfriend, because she's watching, and I will see you later for some celebration. And then I want to shout out Nate again because I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I'm undefeated at Homestead and League Racing. And no one's ever given me a run for my money to win the race, and I just want to shout out that guy because he's gotten so much faster and so much better. And it was funny that I had to go back and watch him in practice because he knows my little techniques here. I had to watch him in practice to relearn my old techniques, and that was made me. It was a proud papa moment.
Oh, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our race winner tonight at Homestead, Jared Lindsay. Appreciate you joining us tonight in the booth, and we'll see you next week at Martinsville.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for broadcasting. I want to shout you guys out too. So,
Yeah, of course, we do our best up here.
all right, amigos. Have a great night.
All right.
Have a good night, my
Good
man.
job, Jared.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Drag him back up there. Now, what a race. Hey, you want to do one more interview here?
Oh, I'll do. Oh, I think I know who you're gonna drag in.
I think I
yeah,
got one
let's,
more guy here.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
All right, I got this one here.
Go ahead.
Mikey, do you got a copy?
I'm here. What's up?
How's it going there, bud? You come away with a top 20.
I did.
How was your race after you were able to make it pit road?
Well, as the sun went down, the track to me got my corner entry got a little too loose on me. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. But me and the 5 there at the end, we had a good little battle for 18th, and I called it the battle of the mics. I thought it was pretty fitting. But other than that, I thought it was a good race for me, at least after last week wrecking out and finishing like 30 laps down. I'll take a top 20 any day.
Yeah, come away with a top 20. Headed to Martinsville next week. What do you like about Martinsville, or what's your confidence level heading into Martinsville?
Well, if I gotta be completely honest, man, I have not really ran a race at Martinsville before, so I'm a little nervous going into it because short tracks kind of scare me. But I'm gonna go in with a level head and just try to do the very best I can.
Well, it was fun to get a few interviews in with you and talk to you. So we'll if you want next race at Martinsville, you want to be the in-race reporter, we'll interview you every few yellows or whatever.
Oh, dude, I would be honored to be the in-race reporter for next week. I don't know how good I'll be to be on the reporting, but I'll do my best.
All right, well, we're going to have to get rid of your drink and your drink holder. We're going to put a mic in there for you. So just at random points of the race, you can pick it up and talk to us whenever you want. But, yeah, it's fun to watch you and fun to talk to you tonight. So good job.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Mikey there. Gotta get a little word in with him. But, yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. So, Alex, what did you think about tonight's race here at Homestead?
I mean, it's Homestead. I think I said it last week before we ended the broadcast. I had a feeling it was going to be a great race. Man, this track always delivers. I've said it the last few years. I think this is the best track on the NASCAR schedule. Always delivers, whether it's Cup, Xfinity, trucks even. But yeah, what a great race tonight. Great battles for the lead. Not even just for the lead, throughout the entirety of almost the top 15, the top 10. Looked like there was a move going on everywhere you looked. There was strategy. Had some fun moves, some questionable decisions, but at the end of the day, great race. I think Homestead is going to deliver once again.
Yeah, it definitely did, and it was a fun one to broadcast once again. So thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. We'll meet you guys next week, next Tuesday, at Martinsville, and that one's gonna be a fun one. We'll see who's gonna come up
yeah.
with the short track speed, first real short track, I guess, other than Phoenix, of the season. So tune in next week for the Martinsville Mash, and yeah, we'll see you guys then.